What's going on? This is Shango, aka Real Deal Ray, and this is a energy read. We just yesterday was 11/11, and I believe now we're in a full moon, like full fledged, pretty much. Like wherever we're at, there's full moon action happening right now. So, um, we're gonna get into this, and I know that some people I've gotten messages before, and I actually appreciate them. It's interesting to me, but our calendars are fucked up. They're off. But since we all consensually agree that today is November 11th or November 12th, there is something to be said about that as well. Collective consciousness, but yes, yesterday was a numerological gateway, if you will, and like I said, it happens to be right 69 in a full moon, like face and nose all up in it, So um, we're going to get into kind of this reading is going to kind of go with both of these. And anytime you're dealing with 11, we're also, if you think of symbology, 11 looks like two pillars, two pillars, a gateway in which you're going through. Whether you know it or not, whether you're with it, whether you're fighting it, it all depends how the experience is going to be felt by you, or be experienced by you, I should say. So, without further ado, like, share, subscribe, and thrive. Like, share, subscribe, and thrive. And if I didn't mention like, share, subscribe, and thrive in that order, the order of operations, okay? And before we get started, do have a quick announcement. Cuffing season is official. It's getting cold everywhere, for the most part, anyways. People want that, snuggle buddy, to endure the winter months with, get fat with, and all that shit. But you may be interested in a 3-day binding spell. They come in two variations. One is a keep your ass here. So if you're in a relationship but you're not feeling so secure, you want to kind of make sure, magically speaking, that you keep this person in your circumference. There's that. Then there's also a bring your ass to me. You know what I'm saying? Uh, one that a lot of people have been enjoying. So if there's a particular somebody that has caught the attention of your eye and genitalia, and you want to click on the link in the description box, or you can go to www.shango-ray.com. Also, of course, we're still in Santísima Muerte season, full on effect, just because Halloween and November 2nd and 3rd, or November 1st and 2nd are gone. Veil's still thin, so we also got the Muerte Mojo bags, excuse me, for whatever particular area that you want that supernatural assistance in. The Mojo bags are a spell in a bag which you get to cultivate a relationship with, and you will begin to see the results happening. The more you put in, the more attention is the main way that you feed a Mojo bag, if you did not know that, or any type of ongoing spell or ritual, or if you want to maintain an ongoing effect, just like going to the gym. Fitness, they say, is rented, and rent is due every day, so magically speaking, same thing. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into this 11/11 full moon read. And you know what, I'm gonna keep it totally 100% trill gangster with you. I don't even know what the fuck the moon is in. I just know it's full, like a big old ass in the sky, just full. You know what I'm saying? That's all I know. So that's all I need to know, because what's going to come through is going to come through. And if it resonates for you, golf clap, and if it doesn't, hey, that's all right too. I'm sure there's something somewhere out there that will. So let's get into it. Where was I going to start? I did a 9-card spread, but I think I'm going to. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. Okay, so as mentioned, many of us, especially if you're on some type of conscious spiritual path. When I say conscious, I mean you're consciously involved in your spiritual involvement. You're not just leaving it to default and maybe you'll get something here or there or some insight or you'll grow. You have to take an active part in that. So if you are taking an active part in that, then I think this really, really will resonate with you the most. Okay. So from the bottom line of cards, the gateway, anyways, and I guess this will coincide with the full moon. Full moon also representing finalization, completion. This is a time for many of you to transmute, transform your emotions, okay, into something that needs to be expressed. And I feel there is a need by many of you, which is why the shit popped up here on Papa Shanguito's card, okay? This right here, bam! All right, the Five of Hearts. Now, five is, the number itself is often, um, I believe, is an air, is related to the element of air. Anytime air, you're also talking about expression. Okay, the first thing that popped in my mind with this is expression. Now, I'm sure you've heard and maybe you've experienced, because maybe you're some type of an artist, or you do you perform some type of art, even if just for therapeutic reasons, or you can remember when you did do your art or expression, how it would feel therapeutic to you, because you're taking all these emotions, you're putting them in this fucking spiritual blender, you're blending it up, you're juicing it, and then you're directing it somewhere else. You're just ejaculating it all over somewhere else, through some other medium. That's what transmutation is. You're taking something and you're transmuting it and you're transforming it into something else. I feel like definitely there is a call here for some of you out here to begin to do that, because if you don't have some type of an outlet for your emotions, or you're not aware of your emotions and they're just gathering and they're just building, you will start to notice complications in your physical body. You will start to notice complications in your physical reality. Those are the two main ways that they begin to pop up. A lot of times too, they will start to pop up in your body. You may notice different things or whatever, but emotion can't stay stagnant. It needs to keep moving. It needs to be utilized. You know what I'm saying? It's not there for no reason, just to sit there, So you don't want stagnant energy collecting in your bio meat suit. You want to be able to use it, keep it moving. And the result of that, because a lot of you, I'm gonna keep it honest with you, a lot of you have just been looking for, you keep on looking out, like, when are you going to be happy? You may intellectually know that that's kind of up to you, and in any moment you can begin to shift something, or however start that process. But deep down, there's still that belief that I need something outside of me to happen before I can feel this or that. It's like the event or the circumstance or the person or the place or the thing is the permission slip for you to feel what you want to feel. But when you're working with or within the occult sciences, the spiritual sciences will tell you that that's the most probably asinine way that you can go about it. And yes, we're all conditioned to go about it that way, so don't feel bad about that. But this is the wake-up call, because through your expression, you're going to find that the more positive emotions begin to multiply, and they keep coming. And it's like the more you give it out, the more love, the more passion, the more all of that, you will be reaching new levels. And from new levels, actually going to become somebody different. And through becoming somebody different, you're going to start to notice your reality quickly begin to respond. It's going to start shifting and changing like that. Of course, the caveat is if you let shit just keep slowly sinking down, you may notice that also. Okay, whether it's in your reality or whether it's in your body. Okay, and the third card here that you may or may not have noticed, because all this emotion too does also translate into creativity, can translate into creativity. I won't say it will, because once again, that's going to depend on the individual and what they do with it. Okay, I can't tell you it's going to translate into creativity, and then you continue to just do the same old. Of course, it's not going to work that way. Like, you would have to have an active role in that transformation of these emotions and energy. A key part of all this, though, just to keep it real simple, is just simply practicing becoming aware of whatever the fuck it is that you're feeling. It sounds very simple. It is simple. It is not easy, though, because our minds are so conditioned. Um, we're almost like under a mass ADHD spell, or ADD spell, and that is, of course, by design, to keep you from being able to transcend this meat suit you're in and to experience other things. Okay, because it would behoove the powers that be for you to believe that you simply are just this body, and whatever shitty thoughts you're feeling and shitty feelings you're feeling and whatever, that's you too. That would be what they would want you to subscribe to. Okay, but like I said, I'm getting a little off track here. The expression, it's kind of like, have you heard the old saying, when you give out love, love is like one of the few things that when you give out, it seems to like multiply. You know what I'm saying? And I say love because love is the highest frequency, or unconditional love, I should say, is the highest frequency that one can experience. But in this giving and in this expression, even if you begin to start expressing, and I really feel this has to do with an art form. I don't care if it's drawing in sand with a stick. I don't, whatever it is for you. Okay. Now, having said that, a lot of things can be made into an art form. Okay. Some people handle their occupations and they look at it like this is a piece of art, or they treat it like they treat their life like it's their art project and they're the artist. And the truth is, that is how it is. You are the artist and you're also the artistic creation. So, having said that, I know some of you have been also wondering about the cash, man. Okay, what about the cash during this part of my journey? Am I going through these pillars and shit? Does this have a fucking deposit slip for me also? And in essence, once again, if you utilize your emotions, if you become aware of them and you start to be able to freak your shit the way you want to, like I said, this creative streak will translate into also creative ways. Because remember, money, it really is just energy, okay? Money is energy, and this energy will be magnetically attracted to you. You're going to find more creative ways that you get excited about, to whereas you would probably almost do this shit for free because you kind of like it that much, or maybe you're already doing it and you're just like, hey, I can monetize this. Because we live in an age and a time right now, the age of Aquarius, where you can monetize anything. If you was really about it, you can start I bet you, and I don't know this for a fact, but I bet you, if you go on YouTube, there's somebody, I'm just going to pick something off random, okay? Let's just say my thing was iguanas, right? I bet you I could start probably a channel that's going to have 100,000 followers of people who are just as passionate about fucking iguanas as I am. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many different ways that you can monetize, but this represents creativity. Okay, this is a very creative card. All right. This particular gateway, as you know, most do. I remember last year, it was very I want to say in some ways very, very rough for a lot of us. Okay, and part of what made it rough are the endings that happen. And I know that some of you are either experiencing now, beginning to experience, or will be experiencing very soon different forms of endings in your life. Maybe the relationship you are in, and I can definitely say for some of you that is the case. Okay, you see that? The gazebo is upside down. Okay, so some of you have already, but you already know this. Some of you is like already, and you kind of just been pussyfooting around and kind of just waiting for the right time. And I get it. There is a divine time into everything. A lot of times, sometimes even when you try to be proactive, it doesn't work out like you want to, and then during the course of the divine time, things click. You may try and escape the relationship like a runaway slave, and then find yourself back in it again. But when it's over, it's fucking over. And guess what? For some of you, it's fucking over. Matter of fact, I will say you ain't gonna really even have to try and end anything. It's just gonna fucking end. Okay? Why? Because that's like the last 130, 40, 60, 80, 200 pounds of unsightly fat that you needed to drop. All right? Yes, that person I'm talking about. All right? So this is the these are the cards that are, yes, Shangito's going in today. Okay, so we already covered this. Like, this is a major theme. This is why it's also popping up here, but it's more than just relationships. Okay, there's somebody out there, you have a loss of love. See, this card is in the middle, 9 of Hearts, a loss of a love. And what this means for you, if I can just fucking reach in your head all the way down to your heart and pull that shit out and show you. You've had some things that you did love. Everybody knows you for this love. But now you feel like it's time for something else. And being that it's time for something else now, we're talking about being in the realm of the unknown. And it's kind of scary for you. And what is also scary for you is that you don't know what is next. Like, what do I do now? Who am I now? Who am I now that I'm not pursuing this, doing this, chasing this, whatever, you fill in the verb. Who am I? What am I? What am I without this particular identity? I have done personally, I've done music for a large part of my life. And there was a time where everybody knew me just for that. And, there was some moments where we was almost to the land of milk and honey, and there, different things happen, and dealing with, certain labels and shit like that. And eventually I just started growing, I guess, but also just wanting some other things, and I reached this space where I almost felt like it was not okay for me to keep identifying with this identity of this man who does this, because I'm like, if I'm not doing this, like, what else am I going to do? But when I let go of that is pretty much during the heart of when is like I had one of my darkest moments. And then that's when I started really more or less cultivating, and for some reason I was directed to cartomancy first. Of course, and magic shit, but cartomancy seemed to take a front seat. And from there, with one pack of cards, that's where it all began, And I had to be okay with that, though. It took me a while to get okay with that. So what I'm saying to you is, I'm using that example because some of you are going through this whole period right now. You might be just hitting in your 30s or in your 40s, or, maybe even in your 20s or whatever. But whatever you were doing and the identity that was created, that associated with that, is muerte, baby, is done. Okay, and that is okay. And that's what I want to tell you, is it's okay. All right, and it's okay to feel like, damn, I feel off. Some of you also right now have been feeling apathetic because of this. What do I mean by apathetic? What do you mean, Shangito? Well, apathetic means you ain't feeling nothing about nothing, and you're wondering, where can I plug in for my passion now? what even excites me, you know? In some ways, I think this could be an exciting time because now you get to reintroduce yourself to yourself again. Who is yourself? What is a true self, right? So, besides, of course, relationship factors and all this other things, there's also this going on. And to me, and a lot of times, this is almost like way more major in a way. This is directly dealing with your self identity. Is I guess what I was babbling on about. All right. At the same time, you see, whenever you have two nines dropping at the same right there next to each other, we're talking about endings. Okay, we're talking about endings. But this is the nine of diamonds, so there is a payday here. Okay, there definitely is a payday here, but I definitely really feel so strongly that this is yanking at some of the old roots that you used to have, you know. And once again, it's okay, you know, for fuck's sake, give yourself permission to go through this gestation period because it's going to pay off. But also during the midst of all this, some of you are going to, I guess you could say, the contract has been fulfilled because this is completed, this is fulfilled, an ending. And I always say, and it doesn't, ending doesn't necessarily have to be a tragic thing. An ending can be like, yo, I completed the job is over, now I get paid or something, you know. So this, I really feel, more or less is also a little bit of sugar to balance out the shittiness that you may be going through, with some of these endings. Okay, but this is definitely a time to end. You can't go through the pillars with all that extra shit on you. You have to get rid of it. It just, it won't let you through, you know. You have to, or you stay on the other side and just sit there and wait till whenever, you know. But yeah, this can also be translated into um some money also for some of you. But what I get from it, because of the other shit that's going on, it's going to kind of be bittersweet. So yeah, it's great. Oh, I got some money. That's great. You know, I'll have a temporary spike in emotions. It'll last for maybe an hour, 30 minutes. And then it's going to be like, okay, I got this money, but you're still going to be dealing with these things too. All right. So where are we at now? Okay. Well, let's see what we got here. This is more or less like just some advice. Could also turn into something forecastatious. All right, in here. I don't know why some of you, the relationship either was with a water sign or a Pisces, or possibly even somebody, I feel also it's like the father of their children. Okay, but that's just off. There's more to this card also, but we'll get into that real quick here. I know this video is getting long, but hey, I'm just doing my thing, you know. You want to also, I think, one of the things that's going to give you the gas in the tank, you see, because one of the reasons why you kind of stopped pursuing or kind of fell off from what you were doing and what you were identifying yourself with is because your personal values, what's most important to you, begun to change. As you change, as you evolve, those are going to change too, because what was important yesterday or last year may not be important now. And that is okay. Again, I'll say it again because y'all got to be reminded of that. We all do, all right? Not just you, okay? But, you know, compromising yourself, there's always a balance with everything, you know, no matter what you get into. If you can feel, um, I guess you could say, secure in that, and that it also kind of it's not conflicting with you and your ideals and your own personal, even secret values that only you know, that's fine, only you have to know. that can start to create an imbalance also financially, especially if you're compromising yourself for financial reasons or because you think that's what you have to do. Spirit's also saying you don't have to do that. If you remain true to yourself, the road will adjust itself for you if you hold it long enough. So you don't have to compromise yourself. All right. Um, yeah. And this is actually going again, once again, this is going right along with this. All right. And this is going along with this. See, two jacks here. Jack's numerical value is 11 as well. So we have an 11-11 going on here also. But they're also telling me to basically say now is also a time to start to get into more of your studies, whether it's audiobooks or anything. Read stuff that you're actually learning and that you can actually begin to even just apply one thing, but that excites you, that it is in life. Even if you don't know with who you're becoming, that's okay. Just follow your excitement. You will notice something inside of you will just kind of be attracted, to something, and you just got to have this, or you're like, oh, that or that or this particular book, or I don't know why I just like I'm fascinated by this particular, culture and era or whatever it is. Follow it. Just follow it. Okay, you don't have to be married to it. Just follow it. Check it out. See where it goes. It might come be a big circle and lead right back here. Who knows? But they're telling me to tell you to follow. But in particular, for those of you who have been writing or who actually want to write, this is also going to be a time where you're finally going to sit your ass down in front of that blank screen or blank paper and finally begin to do this shit. And they're encouraging me to say, do that shit, all right? This is the time for that shit. And like I said, this goes right along with this expression. If that's where your emotion is at, that's where the juice is at, the sexiness. You want it sexy. No sexy, no juice. Dry, Mojave, no bueno, okay? You want lubrication, okay? You want sexiness, juice, emotion. That's what you want. Now, finally, this is also, some of you have been in a shell also. I don't know where this is coming from, though, but some of you have been in a shell, and the actual expressing of your emotions, whatever they are, to whoever you need to, has been something that you don't do. Maybe you might be also known as someone who doesn't share your emotions, or you guard them, or you have them locked away, or you feel you got to have a poker face on. Now is the time. See, this is a masculine force, and a masculine projects, feminine receives. Okay, when we're talking about polarities here, this is the difference. One of the main differences in the two types of polarities. You got the plus and you got the minus. It takes both in order for you to get electricity. When you plug your plug into the socket, it's got a negative charge and it's got a positive charge. It needs both, and so do you. So for whoever this is for, it's time to be more proactive. And you know what? You're going to feel so good just being able to speak your fucking truth and not give a shit. And I'm not talking about being rude, but I'm saying speaking your truth and not having to guard against anything or whatever. Like, you can express your emotions, okay? Emotions that are not expressed become other ugly shit. So just keep that in mind too, all right? Furthermore, though, topping it off, ending this here, the veil, like I said, is if we're looking at cosmic energetic climates, then it would behoove us to know that the Wi-Fi signal is a whole hell of a lot stronger. Not that it ain't strong throughout the year, but it's even more on bang status right now. And this right here, for whoever this resonates with, there is a male ancestor or ancestors or a group of male ancestors, actually for somebody too, that has really been trying to get your attention. And I feel also these are not just regular ancestors. Some of these ancestors are also ancestral, some type of ancestral lineage that's non-human. Non-human. Okay? They were never corporal. Okay? So they have information for you. And yes, if you've been getting that ringing in the ears and shit, some of you, for some of you, it's been them. Okay, those are also downloads and channels. Okay, but I keep getting this strong message that there's information that they. It's kind of like you already have it, but it's like dormant. But once they do whatever they do, it like unlocks the shit in your DNA. You know, that's the best way I can explain it, or what they're trying to say, you know, that they want me to say. So there's many gifts and things that this male ancestral energy, or this, I really feel it's like a collective almost of a more masculine polarity nature, though, of entities, beings, whatever you want to call it, ancestral. And they're trying to give something to you, man. They're trying to get you there. So anyhow, that has been your full moon 11/11 energy read. It's my intention that this reading serve you to the highest degree that it possibly can for you, when it's right for you. All right. So other than that, of course, we do have more Shangodiacs on the way. We're going to finish it out, and that way we can get to some other good things. Okay. But for now, peace and blessings. Enjoy your full moon. I hope your week's going good, and we'll be back again. So be sure to like, share, subscribe, and thrive one more time. Okay.